Hi, writing in Psych class. I am going to make a video for you regarding our first assignment and maybe talk through the whole first article review. I've had a few emails already on the first day of class about some confusion, and I've never done this before for writing, but I'm hoping to kind of jump ahead of questions that you might have and then make this process a little more smooth for you. So I am going to share my screen to this one. And I'm gonna move me. So here we are. We are on your writing and psych page or a similar page if you're in a different section. Everything's the same for all my writing courses. So article review one, you see it has all these pieces. It has the article approval, cover page, reference page. Then it has the intro section, method section, results section, discussion section, and then the entire paper, which is all of these sections combined into one seamless document. And then you see for article review two, it's just the topic, approval, cover page, reference page, and then the whole paper. And the same for number three, topic, approval, cover page, reference page, and then the entire paper. And then the lit review is totally different. There's a whole video that I'll share on the lit review on how to do that. That's different. That's you actually writing a paper. These first three article reviews aren't really you coming up with any new information. They're not you writing your opinion. They're not you writing about really anything. It's just to practice APA writing. So you might think this is dumb and this is pointless. I'm not even writing anything. That is correct. You're not writing anything, but it's not dumb and pointless because you are practicing writing an APA. Most of you probably have an MLA background and maybe some other formatting type that you used, but this isn't like any of that. This is scientific writing. Psychology is a science, right? And so we want to write scientifically because these articles that you're looking at, if they're legitimate psychological science articles, they use the empirical method, right? They tested things, they had hypotheses that they looked at and they analyzed the results and they said, based on all of this stuff, here's what we've concluded. And so the writing's a lot different, right? It's not squishy, it doesn't use I or we or they. It's very scientific and dry and almost soul sucking at first until you get to the hang of it. I love it now, but I remember all the way back in my writing and psych course and being floored when I got my first paperback with red markings all over it that I was like, I've never written a bad paper. I'd always done really well in like English courses and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing because it's scientific writing. It's different. So article reviews one, two, and three are literally you reviewing an article that you found and not reviewing like giving your opinion, just kind of restating. Smith and colleagues stated so and so found that Smith and colleagues analyzed the results of 425 different college students across blah, 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 right? It's just very dry. You're not writing anything new. You are citing through the entire thing because you didn't do this research, right? It belongs to someone else. And so we're really big in APA formatting of giving credit to the people who have come before us because we're not reinventing the wheel in psychology, right? We're looking up these articles, we're looking at what other people have done, and then we're like, oh, well, based on that, I wonder if we tweak just this little part, what would happen? Or if I changed this thing at the input before the pretest, what would happen in their behavior or something like that. And so we're always citing to previous sources in psychology. For the purposes of these three papers, you only need to cite to the authors of your article. Don't worry about if your article is citing to other people. Those are called secondary sources, and it's a thing. But right now, I just care about you getting good at writing the basics in APA format. So, all that to say, I'm going to pretend to do this assignment from the beginning with you so you can just see what I'm looking for. So, article review one, I need to find an article to get approved, and then I have to make a cover page and a reference page. So, this needs to be a quantitative research article. So, quantitative means they analyze some numerical something. So, in your results section of the article you're reviewing, there should be some sort of numbers or analyzing or results that came out of that. If yours says we're going to look at that stuff in the future, or it says um, anything like hypothetical, that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for real numbers that they analyzed as their results. So obviously you'll go to the library database. So you're going to attach the article PDF that we're about to find and a Word document with your title page and your reference page. So let's see. I'm going to go over to the university libraries page. Let me make sure that's still a screen you can see. I didn't know if it would follow, and I don't want to be doing all this and you not see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to go to the directory. Not that. Sorry, not that directory. This directory, the database. And I'm going to go to P for psychology. Really, the best ones for psychology are the ones that are in Psych Info. You can try a couple of the other ones if you want, but I would just stay in Psych Info. There's thousands and thousands of articles in there, so I'm sure you could find one in Psych Info. Sign in. Oh, okay. No. Oh, look, I'm not real. I am real. What a terrible video. Okay, let me try one thing really fast. Otherwise, I guess I'll stop the video and we'll try it again. How could I not be logged in? I'm logged into everything else. I'm in Canvas right now, and I'm in my email. There we go. Okay. Let me make sure you can see this. I'm terrified. I'll do all of this and you'll be able to see it. Okay, cool. Okay, so just anything at all that you're interested in. You can write about anything you want for these article reviews as long as the research is correct. So for this one, it's quantitative research. So maybe I'm interested in college students and that's anxiety. Research. And a bajillion articles are going to come up. But I remember that I need to have the full text. So I'm going to click that all filters full text. It has to be peer reviewed. And here's dates. We want it to be relevant, right? We don't want an article from like 30 years ago. Publication date. So let's do 10 years. Relationships of trait anxiety, test anxiety, and academic performance. Randomized control pilot trial of dialectical behavioral therapy skills training informed intervention for test anxiety. Ooh, habitual rapid eye movement sleep predicts changes in test anxiety levels weeks in advance. That's interesting. Vagal mediated heart rate variability, longitudinality predicts test anxiety in university students. Ooh, the impact of test anxiety on oral microbiota, terrible microbiota. I'm clearly not going to use that article. The efficacy of a group program integrating compassionate mind training with cognitive behavioral therapy for college students with test anxiety in mainland China. That one sounds interesting. Okay, I found one I can pronounce all the words and it sounds interesting. So I'm just gonna scroll down, figure out where I can get the full text at. That's down. Okay. Now I'm just gonna look real quick to see if you can see this page. Okay. Here's my paper. So look, it has all of these sections. It has the introduction section, right? You wouldn't know it because it doesn't have a header. It just is. It just is. You just, if you know, you know. And then we have the method section. Note, there is no S after method. Too many people write methods section, and I count off for that. It's method. And then, so these things in APA formatting, this is called a heading. So these are level 1 headings. But it looks a little different in the article because when publishers publish them, they kind of squish things together to make it fit, kind of like a newspaper. So in your paper, level 1 headings have to be centered, and then level 2 headings are on the left side. But the level 1 headings are the ones you're turning in one piece at a time for this paper. So anyway, I'm trying to make it down to the results section to see if this is quantitative data. Okay, let's see. Oh, look, I see a formula. That's good. I see a p-value. That's good. So they did independent t-tests. There was no significant difference between the two groups. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't even matter what they found for me to find out, okay, this is quantitative research. So I can use this. So I'm just going to decide this is the article I want to use. Hopefully you've read it more if you decide to use that as an article. So now I have my article check. I'm going to download it here. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Article 1. Perfect. You title it whatever makes sense to you. That makes sense to me. If I were a student doing this paper, I'd probably title it something like that. So now the other thing you have to have is the APA title page and the reference page. So I'm going to open up Word. This is over here on. Now let me find my Outlook over here. Okay. I'm going to create my Word document. And for an APA title page, it needs to have page numbers. I'm going to double click up here. Page numbers. And they need to be on the top right. But that's fine. For student papers, you don't have to have a running head, which are words that go up here. If you have it, that's perfect. If you don't have it, that's okay too. And then my title. So if my article is called The Efficacy of a Group Program Integrating Compassionate Mind Training with Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for College Students with Test Anxiety in Mainland China, I could say a review of all of that, but that is a long title. So I'm just going to title it Review Number 1. And then I'm going to need to have my name and my university and the date. It has to be the long date, so instead of 8/22, it needs to say August 22nd. So article review 1, if that's article review, if that's what you decide to title it, you can title it anything else. You can title it a review of test anxiety and cognitive behavioral therapy, or some shortened version of your title, or like I said, you can put a review of colon and then the entire title there. Maybe if your title isn't quite as long as mine. So I want to center. So article review 1 is centered and bolded because this is the title of our paper. These things are also centered but not bolded. I'm going to put my professor name. Let me see. You can put Department of Psychology. And then you can put my name. So this is a student paper. And then you have the date. I think the only thing we're missing is your class title. I always forget my number. So that way. Psych 33. That's it. That's your title page, right? I mean, I'm not the author and the professor, right? So put your name there. But I'm writing this paper. So your name, the department, writing and psychology, Professor Renee Wallace, August 22nd, 2025. Alternatively, if you decide you want it to be a professional paper title, you do need a running head up here. Running heads are in all caps. Article 1 review. and it will carry over when I have another paper down here. So my header and my page numbers carried down. So now my title page is complete. All I need is, well, I might move these down a little bit. So the title's kind of top centered, and then the rest of this information is a little under it. That's not centered anymore. Ignore that. Let's see. For my reference page, it's going to be a hanging indent, left aligned. And here's something cool that you can do over in your library database. Let me find the share screen and go back to that. So you can do something here where it helps you with the citation. Let me find it. Well, you could, a long time ago. Where is this? Other project. Psych. There we go. It didn't look like that when I was young. Okay, APA 7th edition. That's what we're doing. It's pretty good at it, but you need to double check it. You need to know what you're looking for. So I'm just going to copy paste it. But see how certain things are in italics? The journal title is in italics. The title of the article is in all lowercase letters except the first word, the, or the word China, because that's a proper noun, right? So those need to be capitalized. But everything else is lowercase. So, and then we have our DOI search number here. This is the journal volume number. That's in italics. And then the article number and page numbers are not in italics. So I'm going to come over here to my paper that you can't see now. Back over here. I'm going to paste. And probably nothing came the way it was supposed to. So I have the words. I have author last name, comma, first initial. Second author last name, comma, first initial. Third author last name, comma, first initial. Fourth author last name, comma, first initial. And we have periods, commas between them all. I have the year that it was published there in parentheses. We're not ever going to use first names here. And you can't just say et al. Or ... unless you have 20 or more authors. So if you have 19 authors, you're going to have to write them all out. Here's my title, The Efficacy of a Group Program Integrating Compassionate Mind Training with Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for College Students and Test Anxiety in Mainland China. Perfect. Mindfulness isn't in italics anymore, so I'm going to fix that. And then my journal number, not in italics, I'm going to fix that. And it's not a hanging indent anymore, so I'm going to fix that. So, paragraph. Where's my paragraph? Header. No, I don't want to find it there. I want to make it a hanging indent. Line spacing. Line spacing options. I think I need indent options. And you do need to make sure that the whole paper is double spaced and like 12-point font. It doesn't have to be 12-point font, Arial. It can be what this is, this draft. APA doesn't make it a specific thing anymore as long as it is a small-ish readable font with legible letters. So 12-point Arial is a safe bet. I haven't made one of these from scratch in a long time because I have drafts and once you've saved this one and you have it perfect, you should use this one for the rest of your reviews and APA papers in the future so your formatting is always correct. Paragraph options. Is that what I want? Hanging. Here we go. Paragraph options. Special indent, hanging indent. So now that means the first line is all the way left indented, but the rest of them are kind of hanging underneath. I'm not sure why it highlighted it yellow. It doesn't need to be highlighted yellow. No highlights in yellow. Okay, well, don't make it yellow, but that's what it should look like. And then your header number here, header here. It's just references, not in all caps. And in bold because it's a level 1 heading. That's it. So this is what you're turning in for this first paper. for this first assignment. It's the title page, the reference page, and the article PDF that I downloaded. So I hope that makes sense. And then let me share one more thing on our Canvas page. It's not up yet. Sharing here. Okay. So then you're going to just turn in the intro section next, and then the method section, and then the results section, and then the discussion section. And I'm going to give you detailed feedback on every single section that you turn in. So then when it's time to turn in the entire paper here, you'll have a near perfect APA formatted paper. So just I don't know, it's a piece at a time, which is really hard to grade, and it's a lot because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do this section, but you're not writing anything. You're just reviewing each of the sections in APA format, which means I care about you having the page numbers, that it's in a clear font, and that the font is the same throughout the paper, and that your level 1 headings are bolded and centered, and your level 2 headings are left aligned and not centered, and all the things that your APA manual says they need to look like. So I don't know, this is longer than I intended, but I just wanted to make it to help you understand what we're looking for the first assignments. That's all.